Listening to that was Stephen Kinnock, Labour MP for Aberavon and member of the Brexit Select Committee. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Knowing both of these people as you do, the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, does it strike you that either of them is a sort of cooperator with the other? Or that they both strike me as people with quite a few Chinese walls around them?
Yes, I mean, I think they are both clearly very strident and clear in their views, but we are in unprecedented times now, uncharted waters, and it is absolutely clear that there's a deadlock and people are going to have to work and act outside their comfort zones if we're going to get out of it. I think that the Prime Minister is quite unlikely to pivot to a softer Brexit because she's so worried about the impact on her party, and she always puts party ahead of country. But the opportunity here is for a Norway-style deal to command Labour support on the basis of a three-line whip from Jeremy, and to attract, it would need to be a backbench amendment, but to attract a large number of Conservative MPs, possibly up to 100, plus the Scottish National Party.
Any sign of that?
Well, I think that all the rumours are that if it looks like the Prime Minister's policy has become to get us out of the EU without a deal at all, you will see the so-called payroll, large parts of the payroll resigning, ministers, cabinet ministers, in order to do whatever it takes to get a deal over the line so that we don't leave without a deal.
And I've asked a lot of MPs and ministers this question over the last couple of weeks on no deal, because if you think of the Dromey-Spellman amendment, which was successful in saying that Parliament will essentially saying that Parliament will not allow for no deal. Nobody's been successfully able to tell me how Parliament will stop that from happening. Is it your view that Parliament will stop it from happening as particularly as ministers peel away from Theresa May's government? Will that be the kicker?
I genuinely think the kicker could well have been Jeremy's letter, because in setting out those tests, he was in essence putting in, that was the bones of a Norway Plus style exit from the European Union. Needs to go a bit further, needs more flesh on the bones. We can do that with a backbench driven amendment. And I think, I've been working with the Norway Plus group for months now. It's co-chaired by Nick Bowles and myself. Lots of excellent Conservative and Labour colleagues on there who understand that there is a majority in the House for a so-called soft Brexit, need the certainty and the stability of an EEA-based Brexit plugging into a well-established, well-understood deal. So it's there, it's staring us in the face. What we need to do is manoeuvre the Prime Minister into going for it, but if she doesn't, then the backbenchers are going to have to stand up and be counted.
Well, we've heard and seen this before. The backbenchers are going to stand up and be counted, and to a degree, the backbenchers have been, but my goodness, only to a degree, because staring me in the face right now is the letter that Theresa May sent to Jeremy Corbyn in response to his letter, which you seem to feel was some kind of tipping point. And she doesn't shift an inch. It's very polite. It's very conciliatory in tone. But not only does she not shift an inch, she rather cleverly suggests or presumes to know what Labour's current Brexit policy now is. No people's vote, no general election. I doubt he'd say that about the latter of those two, would he?
Well, we've tried for a general election. Of course, we lost the motion of no confidence. I think in terms of a second referendum, that we have a number of us, including myself, have deep reservations about it, because it really is not clear to me why we would want another divisive referendum. I think it's up to us as MPs to sort this out. I believe passionately in parliamentary democracy. So, there's lots of concerns about that. So I think Jeremy is reflecting those concerns in that letter. What he's saying is there is a deal there. It needs to be a deal which respects and honours the referendum, but which does not wreck the jobs and livelihoods of the people we were elected to represent.
So while each of these letters, I can't speak for you, but for me it conjures up an image of a kind of Attenborough documentary with two creatures, political creatures in this instance, circling each other very carefully before one deals the fatal blow. Remember that giraffe film? We haven't quite got there yet.
I'm thinking silverback gorillas.
Oh, are you? Okay, fine. But the point remains the same, that at the moment both of those letters are it's a kind of careful dance, isn't it, at this stage? Is there more? Is there, in you're convinced there is more meat to come, more shifting to come?
Well, it's 2 years too late, and the Prime Minister's shown an abject failure of political leadership to realise, particularly after the 2017 general election, that there was a different parliament. She needed to behave in a different way. But, better late than never. I think it's good these discussions are taking place. Clearly, the leadership of both parties plays a key role here. But as I say, if we can generate the support from both sides of Parliament with one block vote on one side, complemented by substantial backbench and frontbench support from the other side, we've got the numbers, the magic 320 to get us over the line. And it's all about certainty and stability, honouring the result of the referendum without wrecking jobs and livelihoods. That's always been, how do we get that balance right between sovereignty and prosperity? The deal has always been there for the taking. It's just that Theresa May she boxed herself in with these red lines rather than accepting that 52-48 is the mandate to move house but stay in the same neighbourhood.
OK, thank you very much, Stephen Kinnock, Labour MP for Aberavon, member of the Brexit Select Committee.